Hey everybody, it's Jochen Hayden, and I'm back with the DesertWolf versus Wirraway Ace Warner Pacific campaign. This is Scenario 1 with Stacking Limits, and today we'll be watching the 24th of November 1942 turn, and I'll talk about it. Okay, welcome back everybody. It's November 24th now, 1942. This is the Wirraway and DesertWolf game. Let's see what happens here, man. Take a look at these Coast Watchers. All right. Okay, it doesn't appear that there's any kind of okay, no night strikes, no naval action in the the darkness. Oh, dang, man. That's the end of that guy. Oh, yeah, good God. Look at that, I-169, man, dealing out some punishment. That was a good hit. There it is, the Avo set. I'm telling you right now, that's a goner. There it is, man. Whew. One torpedo probably would have done that. Nice job, I-169. Good hit. Japanese subs hurt in this game too, huh? Okay, we got some daylight now. Any naval movement? What was that? Something merged. We'll have to look at that. Uh-oh. Okay, so we got the PBYs and the Gilberts spotting a bunch of Japanese. Look at that. I-169, that's the one that hit the Avo set. Really? What is... Oh, something's here. Man, we got the... What is going on here? Man, there's all kinds of stuff happening here. I'm going to have to really look at this turn. All right. So, we got Japanese flying a sweep over this hex. You know they're going to bomb that. And then we got a sweep over the impassable hex here. We are sweeping over Millie. Looks like nobody took the bait. A lot of recon right now. All right, more sweep fragments coming in here. And the reason that we're seeing this is because Wirraway does not want to have a cap trap situation by DesertWolf here. So we got some twin engine bombers coming in to hit this hex right here. Fortunately, they don't do too much damage. That hex has quite a bit of... it's like a... I think if it's ×3 hex. But he's definitely trying to soften it up. He may be coming into this hex this turn, and he wants to try to take out what he can here. Yep, diminishing returns here. And my favorite, these useless Sonias coming in here to do absolutely nothing. Look at that. Nothing. Whoo, boy. Look at that. 68 4-engine bombers. They are going to turn Millie into mush. And wow, what happened here? Oh, okay. So this was a ground attack on the naval fortress, but weather severe storms in the hex that greatly diminishes um, the accuracy of the bombing, and it does appear that DesertWolf is coming in at 10,000 feet, which isn't ideal for bombing effectiveness. I mean, it's okay, but that altitude coupled with the weather is going to mean that this day's raids are kind of a waste. And again, okay, well, if nothing else, we get to see what he's got here, right? So, what are we looking at? We're looking at the 18th Naval Guard, the Naval Fortress, which we've looked at in my other AI game, 3rd Mortar Battalion, and the 41st Japanese. This is an airfield unit, like a aviation support. So at least we're getting some intel on what exactly is here. And this was targeting the base. Getting oh, look at that. One B-26 shot down by flak. Some more B-24s coming in. And this is an attack on the naval fortress. Okay, that is your AM phase. Now we'll go into the PM phase. See what we get out of that. Okay, basically a lot of naval search going on right now. Man, that I-169 better get out of there. Okay, got an afternoon sweep of Millie. Nothing's there. Just a lot of recon right now. A lot of recon, my goodness. A never-ending recon. Jeez. All right, wow. Okay, so not much happened in the PM phase except about 5 million photos were taken. So now we're going to transition into land combat, and we'll see what we get out of that. My guess is nothing crazy. Oh, a bombardment attack in the impassable hex. I don't even know why he bothers. Didn't do anything. That's it, man. Ooh, it's another quiet turn. It shouldn't take long to get through the analysis on this one. Let's see if we get any reinforcements here. Okay, got a lot of ships probably getting their AA armament upgraded at Cape Town since they're there. Let's see, anything else? Okay, another training squadron at San Francisco. That's good. There you go. That's it. That's your turn. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Oh man. I got a lot of stuff to show you guys today, and it's all focused on this area. But we gotta do our normal routine, so we'll start with that. Aircraft losses today. Allies lost a few more than the Japanese. The Japanese lost 2 Dinas. These are recon planes, and the Americans and British, everybody lost a smattering of various aircraft here. You can see it yourself. Top pilots, we had 3 KIA and 1 wounded. It's just kind of a high loss rate for pilots this turn. Looking at the Army loss points, the Japanese took 0 and the Allies took 4. Ship sunk. Check this out. According to this, the I-169 was sunk by a 500-pound bomb from those PBY Catalinas that attacked it. Now, it's not... We don't know for 100% if that was sunk. We'll check the ops report. I don't think it was on there, so this may or may not be. However, the Avoset was sunk by the I-169 in an ironic twist of fate. Isn't that funny? This guy sunk this guy, but ended up getting sunk by PBYs, allegedly. It's cruel how the world works out, right? Looking at political points, my calculations... DesertWolf spent 14 points this turn. He gained 50 and spent 14 to bring his total to 208. 14 points sounds like a couple commanders to me. You know what I mean? Switching out some ship captains, something like that. For the turn, the Japanese went up 7 points, but their win ratio remains at 1.621. So stagnant right here. All right, so I looked at the combat report, and I didn't see anything on here that we didn't already observe in the turn. So again, you guys can look at it yourself. I didn't see anything super noteworthy. The only thing that might be indicative of something is the fact that we have heavy radio traffic at Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Osaka. These are pretty big naval bases for the Japanese. This suggests that large convoys are sortying out of there or going into there, but there's nothing that we can do as the Allies right now to intervene with that. It's too deep behind enemy lines. Ops report. I scrolled through this whole thing previously. Didn't see anything noteworthy that I thought was worth talking about. We don't see any mention of I-169 being reported as lost. The only thing that we see reported as lost is the AVP Avoset, which we watched this turn. Okay, let's just start in China and we'll make it quick. I don't see much going on here. I do want to clarify something from the previous video about the bombing of Japanese oil industry by DesertWolf. I did get clarification from him that there is no house rule in effect that forbids that in 1942. I've seen it in other games. In this particular one, the agreement that they have is that the industry is not to be bombed with the exception of oil. And that was per Wirraway's request. So he actually left the door open for this to happen to himself, even though he's the one that asked for it in case he wanted to do it. So he's paying the price for that now. So oil is fair game in China. And yeah, there's no malfeasance going on. There's no cheapness. That's something that they both agreed on. So if you see DesertWolf doing it, it's okay. It's okay by both parties. So we can move on from that. In China, the only thing I see right now that looks like any kind of push is right here. And we've been talking about this for a few turns. The Japanese are trying to flank around and break through here. That's why we see them bombing so much. And you do see that there is a very high level of disruption right now due to that bombing. So it is being effective in as much as it's disrupting the Chinese unit here to the point where they may not survive a couple turns if this unit, however strong it is able to break through. Okay, but that terrain is ×2, and we do have reinforcements coming down right here. This Chinese corps with about 400 assault value is on the way to reinforce it. But the bombing did have an effect here, as you can see. In Burma, the ground war seems to be pretty stagnant as far as I can see. I'm still waiting for something to happen here. The air war also appears to be rather stagnant. There's nothing significant going on in this region. One thing that's changed is a pretty healthy submarine screen that was set up by DesertWolf, probably in response to the last raid by the Kido Butai. He's also probably wanting to dissuade any surface raiders from coming in up here and hitting his ships. So he set up these submarines here, and that's a substantial amount of submarines. All right. Over here, we have what appears to be a mini Kido Butai spotted south of the Andaman Islands. This is not the big boys. This is just an extra force that he brought up to support that attack on Akyab a few turns ago. To my knowledge, they're heading southwest, which would be this direction, but my guesses are going to hook around and head down towards Singapore later on. As far as the Kido Butai, my guesses are somewhere deep in the Strait of Malacca right now, if not already in Singapore. And we have about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before they would potentially be able to get into position in the Solomons or Gilbert Islands, if that's where they're even going. So it's going to be hard for us to see that coming unless DesertWolf has some tricks up his sleeves to spot them before they get there. I have no idea. So this is all conjecture on my point, on my part. No real activity in Australia. The Solomons is quiet. South Pacific is no longer really a theater of operations anymore. But we've got a lot of stuff going on here now, and it may not be where you think it is. So let's talk about a few things. The Allied submarine forces continue to push out further, and they're encapsulating, starting to like blockade Kusai. And you may wonder, why is that? Well, I may have found the answer, but I'll show you in a minute. Let's get back to this. I think Wirraway is deducing that Millie is going to be the next base that's going to get hit or invaded. So he's put up a submarine screen, as you can see here, to help dissuade any ships coming in here. And one of those subs sank one of these guys here, one of these AVPs, somewhere near Macon. Unfortunately, it appears that it got sunk in turn. So if we take a quick peek at some of these task forces here, let's see if we can find anything of note. Let's see, we have a unit unloading here. Supply going into Tarawa. Here in, where are we at? Abimama, there's nothing really going on, right? A little further to the south, we have these guys going to Luganville, presumably to pick up troops, I'm guessing. We have this task force, which has a bunch of troops on it, an infantry regiment, heading up to... Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, that's something. The 102nd Separate Infantry Regiment is heading up towards Macon at this time. So that's the first clear indication that an invasion of Macon is on the books, right? Now, let's talk about some other stuff that I saw. Check this out. There is a large amount of troops on this. Let's look how many. 7,000 troops and a bunch of equipment. And where are they going? Look at this. Kusai Island. It appears, at least for now, that DesertWolf is planning a deep invasion well behind the front lines of the Marshals to Kusai Island. And that is very interesting, okay? So that's the first revelation we just saw, right? And that's a very healthy strike force. Let's continue. Check this out. These troops here are heading down to Tabatoya. This heavy cruiser task force, check this out. This is new on the map. I didn't see this before. Is heading to Wake Island. Presumably to bombard, I would guess, but I don't know exactly for what reason. But this is heading to Wake. So that's something. Okay, now look at this. We not only have one carrier task force now, we have three. First one I want to talk about is these light carriers here, or these escort carriers. These are heading to Tarawa. Now look at this. The Yorktown, Enterprise, and Hornet have separated from the rest and are heading to Wake Island. Really? And now down here we have Lexington, Saratoga, and Wasp. These guys are heading to Aurora. So 3 different carrier task forces in what I would call a pincer move, right? You have these guys going down to there. You have these guys going up to there. And then you have these ones going right down the middle. So we have a pincer on either side and some sort of center line thrust here with the carriers. And now we have cruisers heading to Wake. On top of that, we still have this task force, which has a bunch of troops on board, which is going to this hex. And again, it lines up very favorably with Millie. So we have this task force heading to Millie and this one heading to Millie. So it looks like at this point we have an invasion of Millie and invasion of Kusai Island planned. My guess is that these cruisers are heading here to bombard Wake. These carriers are going here to suppress any air cover here to help shield the advance of this task force going into Kusai Island. All right, because they'd have to pass right next to Wake to get there, and if Wake has any kind of air support, if it has any kind of recon planes, it'll see these guys coming, and it'll be like a big old siren for Wirraway to react to that. So I'm guessing that the cruisers and carriers are going to Wake Island to neutralize it, to allow this task force to sail by undisturbed and come in behind and invade Kusai Island. That's my guess right now. And there's a lot of moving pieces to this whole thing. And that I may be missing the plan. Maybe there's something else going on. But that's what I'm seeing right now. Now, I could talk about all this because DesertWolf has given me the green light to share this OPSEC type stuff with you. Normally, if this were my campaign, I would not be discussing this with you because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of places where the Japanese could try to stop this. So DesertWolf has a different philosophy. He trusts his opponent, and he trusts you guys as the viewers to keep this to yourself. So definitely take a look at what I just showed you, and let me know what you think about this plan as it appears right now. Again, we have troops from 2 different directions coming to Millie. We have troops coming into Kusai Island. We have carriers going to Aurora. Where was that guy going again? Tarawa and Wake. So we have a 2-pronged attack going on here. What do you think about that? And how do you think it's going to go? I'm really excited to watch this. So, yeah. Last thing I'll show you, because I was following it a couple days ago, is that the Caston and the Smith have made it safely to Auckland, and these were ships that were damaged in a surface combat raid near Nauru, maybe about a week or 2 ago. About 2 weeks ago, the Japanese brought in a bunch of destroyers and outgunned them, and they got damaged out here. But they've successfully made it back to the shipyard in Auckland and are getting repaired. I just now noticed that the Java's in there too, and I don't know exactly what happened to this. It does appear it took a Japanese Type 92 torpedo at some point. I believe that's a submarine launched one. I don't know when this occurred though, but it's in there too, getting repaired. Whew, yeah, a lot of big developments. I would stay tuned to this because things are really going to start popping off here in the Marshall Islands. We got stuff at Wake, Millie, Kusai, carriers coming in. Kiributai's on the prowl possibly. This is going to be really fun, so don't miss a video. Keep watching every turn because this is going to get exciting. I'll catch you guys on the next one.